Hi, this is John Sterling, and you're listening to the Batboy's Corner podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Batboys Corner podcast. I'm Billy Pinkney, coming at you from the Batboys Corner studios in Little Falls, New Jersey. And today we have an exciting episode as the first ever designated hitter in Major League Baseball history will be joining us in just a moment. Ron Blomberg played for the New York Yankees for a number of years, so we're going to talk about his time in the Bronx, as well as the Yankees' current situation, and the new book that he has coming out as well. So with that, we're going to take a quick break here on the Batboys Corner podcast, and when we come back, we'll have Ron Blomberg on the show. If you haven't already, go check out Tip Tuesday 2020. Professional baseball players give you tips and drills ranging from hitting to pitching and fielding. Tip Tuesday 2020, professional tips from professional athletes. All right, we are back here on the Batboys Corner podcast with the first ever DH in MLB history, Ron Blomberg. Mr. Blomberg, thanks for coming on.
Call me Ron, please. It's great to be able to talk to you. I know I've been talking to you for the last, I think, a couple of months, and we finally got to hook up, and it's great, and let's have a good time.
All right, so I want to start off with talking about your time with the Yankees, first-class organization, and I'm sure it was exactly that back in the 70s. If you can talk about what made putting on the pinstripes so special.
Well, 1967, I was the number one draft choice in the country, and I had an opportunity at that particular time. I signed a basketball scholarship in 1967 to go to UCLA under John Wooten. And also I signed a football scholarship to go to Alabama with Bear Bryant. So I had those two choices if I wanted to go that route to play basketball or football, but I knew I was going to be a high draft pick. And I knew probably about a month before the draft in 67 that I was going to be a number one draft choice by the Yankees, if they were going to finish last, of course. And they did. I was pulling for them to finish last, and it was a no-brainer. Once I got drafted by them, being able to put the Yankee pinstripes on, going out to play in Yankee Stadium, and also being Jewish played a big part of it also, because there was 8 million Jews up in New York, and where I lived down in Atlanta at that particular time, it was probably about 50, 60 families only. Wow. And so I wanted to go up to New York. And when I went up to New York for the first time, I made the right choice. It was wonderful. And to be able to put the Yankee pinstripes on, it's the best of the best.
Right. Now, coming up in the organization, were there any veteran players or coaches who took you under their wing and really helped you out?
Yeah, I think so. Elston Howard, who was from New Jersey, and his wife still lives in Teaneck, New Jersey, and he really took me under his wing. And outside of that, most of the whole organization. Back then, CBS owned the Yankees at that particular time, so it was a tough time. The Yankees were not that good. CBS, unfortunately, did not spend a lot of money for the organization. They used that as a write-off. But in 73, when the Yankees was bought by George Steinbrenner, that was the time when the Yankees did extremely well. And right. That's the time that the Yankees took off and just started winning.
Yeah. Now, you've been in attendance for All-Timers Day at Yankee Stadium quite a bit, and I know it's a very special day for all those involved. What memories do you have from chatting with the legends?
People don't realize that when you play professional athletics, it's a very, very small fraternity. Baseball is a major small fraternity. It's not like, if you work for IBM, or if you work for Hewlett Packard, or Apple, you got thousands of people. You don't in professional athletics. Unfortunately, every single year, you have a lot of people that pass away. And I've had this year, a lot of people have passed away. And but whenever you go to Old Timers Day in Yankee Stadium, and when you get reunited with your ex-teammates, and also you get reunited with other years, and also the modern guys. You have like Darryl Strawberry come back, and Dwight Gooden. You have Tino Martinez. You have Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams. Of course, you got Nick Swisher, of course, and Mike Messina, and you got all those guys. And George made the Yankees as a family. Whenever you play and put that Yankee pinstripes on, you're a family. It's no diversiveness. Everybody's together. Everybody are friends, and they're our family. They're our family. So whenever we put that Yankee pinstripes on, and whenever you see anybody, it's the best of the best. I mean, it's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful thing. And people don't realize the Yankees are the only ones that really has an Old Timers Day.
Right.
And it's unfortunately, we didn't do it this year. Hopefully next year it's going to be a lot better. Nobody knows. Today I heard it might be a vaccine that's coming out soon.
Right.
And hopefully that will help so we could calm down and get back to where it's going to be not the perfect storm. It's going to be back to usual. Hopefully it will pretty soon.
Right. And it looks like the Mets might be having an Old Timers Day for themselves soon as well, with Cohen buying the team. He seems interested in doing that as well. They have lots of great legends too.
Are they talking about, I didn't even know, they talked about Old Timers Day?
Yeah, actually, Cohen started up his own Twitter account, and he's new to social media as well. And he was asking the fans their opinions on what they could do better, really. And someone commented about having an Old Timers Day, and he said definitely they're going to hopefully do it next season. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah. He's going to try to outdo the Yankees. But to be honest with you, nobody can outdo the Yankees. The Mets are good. I have a lot of good friends. My best friend is Art Shamsky, who played for the '69 Mets. And we speak probably 3-4 times a week. Mm-hmm. And, the Yankees, it's just like when I was with the White Sox. Even if you have a good season, the Cubbies are going to be the number one team in New York. The Yankees, I don't care what you say. The Mets could win 5 straight World Series, but they're not going to be the Yankees.
Right.
It's a brand, New York Yankees. I'm not taking away anything for the Mets, because I know that this guy is going to spend a lot of money to try to do everything what the Yankees done, because you can't. You could be pretty smart to see the marketing tools what the Yankees do, and if you just follow their structure a little bit, you'll be very successful. But nothing's going to be like the Yankees.
Right. Now, going back to Old Timers Day, someone like Yogi Berra was at Old Timers Day every year, and I'm sure you've been to the museum, which is like my second home. Do you have any Yogi stories or memories that stand out to you?
No, not like nobody's ever heard. I mean, Yogi is, let me tell you something. Yogi has always been my friend. Even when I got up to New York, we became very, very close. It was Mickey. It was Rizzuto. It was Yogi. It was Bobby Richardson. It was those types of people. But Yogi was number one, him and Carmen. Going up to the museum, it's wonderful to go up there. But stories, everybody's always heard, Yogi's stories. But I don't have anything, but every time I saw him, he got smaller. Every time I went to Old Timers Day, I remember it was like whatever. And then the last couple of years, he got smaller and smaller and smaller. And I said, Yogi, when you we're going to have to give you some Miracle Grow to get a little bit bigger. So he died laughing, But Yogi is. Let me tell you something. When he passed away, he was the greatest uh, role model the game of baseball has ever had. And what a wonderful family. I go up there and play in Yogi's golf tournament. I don't know if
Right.
you go up there. It's Willie Randolph and Ron Guidry does it.
Right.
And we have it at Mount Clair Country Club. And I love to go up there. It's wonderful. Joni, who is in charge of
Mhm.
that, she's wonderful with her kids. And, it's a wonderful event. And we raise a lot of money for the museum. It's a great history spot for people to go and see the Yogi Berra. And everybody's always heard of Yogi Berra,
Right.
and he's the best of the best, a wonderful, wonderful human being and a great family.
Yeah, he was great. I met him when I was 2 years old. That was the first time I met him, and first ever player I met. And I've been going to the museum ever since, at the book signings, the different events that they've had every year, the hot stove. And it's just been a great time being around that environment. And another thing that you're known for is being the first ever designated hitter in Major League Baseball. When did you first find out that MLB was going to do that? And can you tell us a story of when you found out that you were going to be the guy?
Well, it was in '72. I think it was the winter in '72 that they were going to have something. They wanted to do something. The American League wanted to do something to really pull up attendance.
Mhm.
And they started the DH. It was I never thought it was going to last longer than a couple of months. To be honest with you, it was a glorified pinch hitter, and then we had it in spring training, and everybody tried to jump to that position. Every single exhibition game, I want to be the DH. I want to be the DH. Nobody ever wanted to play in the field. They wanted to be a DH, so they wanted to get 4 at bats. But the only reason why I became the DH was I pulled a hamstring down in spring training. 4 days was supposed to break camp, and they asked me, did I want to go on the disabled list or can I go up to Boston and play? I said, if I'm going to go on the disabled list, I might not even come off because I don't want to be like Lou Gehrig and Wally Pipp. When Wally Pipp, got injured and Lou Gehrig came up, I don't think Wally had a position anymore.
Nope.
So I always think about that because back then you have a 1-year contract. And when you have a 1-year contract, if you get sent down to the minor leagues, it's a real good chance you don't get sent back up. So I played. I never thought it was going to last, to be honest with you. You look at it now, it's almost like 48 years later, and it's one of the highest paid position in the game of baseball.
Yeah.
All the marquee players are being a DH also now. You got the Aaron Judge, you got the Stantons, you got the Sanchez's. When Edgar Martinez reached the Hall of Fame last year, I mean, it really made baseball to be a really more than an important item. It became a whole position. Like I always tell people, it's a half a position. Just like when the relief pitchers, everybody didn't want the relief pitchers to be honest with you, to people to reach the Hall of Fame because, they pitch 1 or 2 innings maybe every 4 or 5 days, other than Goose Gossage, that will pitch 3 innings every other day.
Yeah.
And but it's a position now, and now I'm waiting for David Ortiz probably to be the next DH to reach the to be honest with you, reach the Hall of Fame. And it's I love it. I think it's great for baseball. I hated to watch the pitchers hit. They're very depressing. But watching some the stars go out there and get 4 ABs, I think it's great for the game of baseball.
Yeah. Now, this year in the shortened season, MLB decided to implement it in both leagues Do you think both the American and National Leagues will end up doing that? I know they were talking about it still staying in the American League, but there's talk about it. I think it should definitely be in both leagues. It
Oh,
doesn't
it's
make
going to be in both leagues. I mean, collective bargaining is it's next year,
right.
and of course they're going to have it. I mean, hey, I mean, half the managers that are actually probably managing in the National League, and they love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it. I mean, hey, the Dodgers beat the Rays, and the DH did pretty good, and they're going to have it. I mean, it's great for the game of baseball,
Yeah.
and it's something. It's just like the 3-point shot in the NBA or in college basketball. It's great to have. And number one, it's more offense. Number two, you'll get to see players that unfortunately maybe could not, it's a 50-50 if they should go on the disabled list or they DH. And it's there to stay. And I hope the National League will adopt it, and I think they will. I mean, it's a game break. It's a gamer. It's something that they're going to the National League's going to like it. You're going to get some purists who say, "Well, I don't like the DH." Hey, I mean, it's going to be there. I think it's going to be there for a long, long, long time.
Yeah. Now, I just want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the current state of the New York Yankees. I know you watched the postseason this year, and it's been pretty disappointing for Yankee fans to watch. You don't expect to lose year after year like this without even reaching the World Series. And I feel that analytics have pretty much brainwashed the front offices of most MLB teams, and they're making decisions based off of computer-driven data with not as much regard to feel and how the managers interpret the situation. And same goes for forming the team and stacking them with power hitters. And another situation was taking out David Garcia after one inning and bringing in the lefty Happ to face the more lefty-heavy Rays lineup, which ultimately failed. So I just want to get your take on what you think some of the Yankees' problems are, since you're an old school guy. What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I could look at it. I know what the problem is. Number one, I'll go the real problem in a second, but the analytics have really put a halt to the game of baseball, how it's played. It's to me, watching the game now, it's like a computer game.
Yeah.
It's the managers are not doing anything. The GMs are the ones that gets the he'll make up the lineup card because he'll talk to his team of analytical people, and out of that, he'll make up his lineup. But you can't play baseball like that. I mean, hey, sometimes, the game of baseball is meant by not, having, it's not like a chess game. The good the good teams are the ones. Let's take like Tampa. They're the ones that are playing small baseball now. They're the ones that do not have a high payroll. Those are the guys who are being they playing really fundamentally good baseball. You take the Yankees. The number one thing with the Yankees, I'll be honest with you now, is injuries. What they have done with the strength programs, I'm totally against what they have done. I'm not, I see these guys. I'm up at the stadium all the time. These guys, they're beasts. These guys are, you look at Judge. He has like 3% body fat, and a guy like Stanton, they'll come to the season with 4% body fat, and Sanchez lost 25 pounds, and he had more muscle pulls and hamstring pulls and calf muscles and oblique pulls.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are too big and strong. In order to be an athlete, you look at football, even basketball, they take a beating. You swing a bat 10,000 times. You shouldn't, I swung it probably 25,000 times a year, but I never pulled an oblique. I didn't even know what an oblique was, to be honest with you. And these guys are obliques. I mean, they got obliques over obliques, and it's just muscle. And and when you pull a muscle without any type of tissues, a little fatness around there, I mean, it takes longer to heal because you don't have any cushion.
Yeah.
And that's what has happened. And you look at these guys, you go from first base to second base and you pull a calf muscle. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it as a youngster who coming up in your profession, but myself, I mean, we never, these guys lift weights in the morning and then they come back and lift weights at night. And, I mean, they don't run anymore like they used to in the olden days. The pitchers, back when I played, they threw 140, 150 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, they pitch 50, 60 pitches and they're out. And, their arms are not used to going any farther. They pushed, to go, to throw 5 more pitches. These guys back then, when you throw, you get like a Jim Palmer or Nolan Ryan or Catfish or Bob Gibson and Steve Carlton. These guys pitch at the pitch, at the pitch, at the pitch. And, and do you ever see them? I mean, eventually after, they might, have a Tommy John surgery like 8 or 9 years, when their muscle tears, and they'll fix that. But now, I mean, these guys are not, they taken out after the 5th inning.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody asked me the other day, you think it'll be another 20-game winner? No, it's not going to be any 20-game winners. They don't pitch that much. And, I mean, and then, I mean, they don't pitch, I mean, they got so much modern technology, what they do with their medical people, their staff. And, and I have no idea. They need to look back at, like a Babe Ruth or a Lou Gehrig and all those people, and Yogi and, Hank Bauer and, Moose Scar. And, I mean, hey, they're not fat, but they had some body weight on them, and did they pull a lot of muscles? No. But the Yankees, every single year, you start off the season with about 5 guys on the disabled list.
Right.
And then after the first 15 games, you got another 3 guys on the disabled list. That's the problem, because what you're doing is you look at their farm system, their farm system is getting depleted because it's just only, I mean, these guys are being trained the same way. Right. And you look at some of these guys that are in the minor leagues, they having Tommy John surgery.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't, it's, you don't really, I mean, you don't get really many torn cartilage or, knee ligaments. You don't have a lot of those anymore. Everything stems from your upper to the middle part of your body. And that's if you look at the pitchers, I mean, they didn't have enough pitchers to go around. Of course, they're going to try to get another pitcher. But, if you get these pitchers, this pitching just a few innings, and, you keep them healthy. You're not keeping them healthy. They're going down like flies. So that's the problem with the Yankees, I think. And, people will say, well, no, it's this, it's that, and whatever. It's, they got, number one, they got the greatest medical staff. And, it's not like, these guys are trying to pump up to be Mr. Universe. I mean, when they take off their shirts, I mean, they're just like, they all cut. I mean, hey, when we played, we're in good shape too, but we had a little bit of muscle tissue around there. So it didn't hurt us as much as what it does now. So I think injuries are really hurting the Yankees now.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I actually had Dana Cavalier on a little while back, and he was the strength and conditioning coach for the Yankees in 2009 when they won. And he said the same thing, how they're training. And I'll quote him on it. He said that they're gym rat meatheads, a lot of guys, just love to be in the gym, lifting weights, and it's not how you're supposed to train as a baseball player. And we're seeing the effects of that now and the results of it. So hopefully we'll see what happens in the future. Things will change at all. Maybe someday they'll realize that there's an issue with it. And
they're going to have to realize it because these guys are getting paid so much money. They'll look good when they go to the hotel swimming pool and they take off their shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're there to play. You won't Aaron Judge to get like 450, 500 ABs. You won't Sanchez. After 4 years, he's probably had 150 at bats or 200 at bats. You have Gary Sanchez, who's out like every 4 weeks. And then you have Paxton, and you got Happ. You got all these guys. You got, it's not baseball. It's, you're making these guys too strong. And now, unfortunately, baseball is hitting a home run or strike out. It's not like you're hitting a home run is hitting over the fence. Am I right? But these guys are watching to see if they can hit it out of the stadium. Yeah. And, big deal if they can hit the ball 500 feet and strike out 200 times. It's, but the fans love that. They love the offensive part. But I don't know, myself, I love to watch maybe a Catfish Hunter and against a Vida Blue or a Catfish against Jim Palmer. And when you have Garrett Cole, Garrett Cole is a guy that does not want to come out of the game. He wants to pitch. Other guys want to get out after 4 or 5 innings. He wants to stay in the game. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want anybody. You try to take Catfish out. You try to take Jim Palmer, Nolan Ryan out, or Bob Gibson. Oh, they'll eat your head off. They'll eat the head off of the managers. Yeah. They want to pitch. They want to pitch to win. These guys, after 4 or 5 innings, they know they're not going to go any farther as soon as the manager comes out. And that's having a good game if they go 4 or 5 innings. And they give the ball to the manager and he'll just walk off. Hey, I pitched my 5 innings. I got, 4 days that I'm going to lift now. Yeah. I go to the ballpark now and I watch these guys, these pitchers out there early, they playing Frisbee, and the guys, and when we played, and I don't know if you ever, of course, Yogi passed away a few years ago. And if you talk to Yogi, they used to run from foul line to foul line to foul line to foul line. If you're not pitching that day, they'll make you throw up out there. And that's that's how you get yourself into shape. Basketball players, you get yourself into shape like that. But you can't throw the Frisbee 4 times and you take 4 little wind sprints and you're in shape. You're not in shape like that. It's not. I don't care how great an athlete you are. Athlete has to get their body into shape. If it's running backs in high school or college or pros, they got to get their legs in shape. Pitchers got to get, their legs, because they use their body, they use their legs to throw. And that's what they have to do. And I hope they go back to it. I hope, go back to the stadium. These guys are running. They might quit because they're not used to that. Yeah. But they make too much money. They're not going to quit, believe me. Yeah.
I remember seeing Joe Girardi standing by the foul line and watching the guys sprint and make sure they got their running in before BP one day. And, I guess that's, what you got to do sometimes. And I don't know how things have changed with Aaron Boone now and what their whole thought process is. I know they're more analytical with Boone. I'm sure they're sending a lot of information down to him. They
send everything down to him. Girardi is an old-time ball player. Right. He's a guy that knows how to you take somebody like Mike Messina. You take somebody like David Cohn. You take these Tom Seaver, or you take John Madley, Jerry Kuzman. You take those guys, they're in shape. They pitch in shape. But these guys, I'm not taking it anyway. They might be in shape for what they do, but I'm talking about a long time, for them to get themselves into shape where they could pitch longer. And, it's number one, you don't kill the staff.
Yeah.
You have to give relief pitchers. If you get out in the fifth inning, you go for your sixth guy. Then you go for seventh inning guy. You go for the eighth guy. And if the guy's pitching in the eighth inning, if he's pitching great, you put your closer in. Why do you take your closer in if you got the guy that's pitching the eighth inning, if he's pitching great?
Yeah.
So, hey, it's, thank God, that's why, I'm not the GM. I'm not a manager, but I am a Sunday manager now, and I can do that now. But I see that now, and I see that as a player for many years of my life. And spring training was down there to work on. You could be in shape when you go down there, but you got to get yourself in better shape when you're down there, because most of these guys are coming from the north. And even if you're in pretty decent shape, you go down south in 90-degree weather, it takes another type of person to get yourself into 90-degree shape-wise. And then you break camp and then come up north, you want to be in tip-top shape. And that's what you want to be. You don't want to just be in shape. You want to be in great shape. These are professional athletes. You want to be in great shape.
Right. And something else I find interesting is the fact that the White Sox hired Tony La Russa as their manager, longtime manager, older guy. How do you think that'll have an impact on their organization with all the young talent that they have?
See, the problem is these young talent are not used to that. And Tony La Russa was a Hall of Fame manager.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a coach of mine when I was with the White Sox. Okay. And he's an old school guy. But unfortunately, he's not making 15 to 18 to $20 million. And these guys are making 18 to $20 million. And they'll tell the manager, this is not the way that I get myself into shape. So who are they going to keep? They're going to keep a guy that is a Hall of Fame guy, or they're going to eat somebody's contract for $100 million and release them. They're not going to do that. So these players control management because they make so much money. They could tell the managers, and they could tell the front office people, this is a way that you brought me up in the system, and this is a way that I'm going to pitch. And that's what it is. Now, Tony La Russa going to change? Is he going to change his whole system, the White Sox system? You can't change that overnight, believe me. And people been doing this their whole life. So it's how is he going to do? Tony's a great guy. He's a very good manager. He's a hardcore manager, but are the guys going to listen to him? I don't know. There's a lot of guys out there make a lot of money. And so I hope baseball turns around. I hope that the GMs and the ownership sees how the system is being run. It's not like, you got a professional, like you had your trainer come talk to you. The guy was a head trainer in 2009. And, that's, golly, Pete, how long ago was that? 15 years ago? 13 years ago? That's a long time, 12 years ago. But this is how much baseball has changed. It's changed overnight. Just like the world has changed in like 6 weeks. Baseball changed like overnight.
Yeah.
And they got to. I think they got to make some changes for baseball to get back to how it should be played.
Yeah, that might be the start. We'll see. Time will tell. And before I let you go, I want to talk about the new book that you have coming out titled The Captain and Me. The captain being Thurman Munson. Would you like to talk about what the book entails and where you could buy it?
Okay, first thing, let me talk about Designated Hebrew.
Mhm.
Designated Hebrew was a bestseller in 2006. We sold close to 60,000 copies of the book. I did not make, I made $0. I gave everything back to charity. Okay. Now, a new publishing company bought the book because it did so well. They put it in paperback. The paperback is like 3 chapters. It goes farther into my life because it got up to where the standard is. It's got up to where my life is right now. And if they want to get the book, it's a great book. I'll sign it, signature and everything. You could go to PayPal, but if you want to, you go Ron Blomberg, Yankees.com. Ron Blomberg, it's 10, Ron Blomberg, Yankees.com. You go there, it's my website. You'll like it, whatever. Okay. Now, with Captain and Me on and off the field, Dan Epstein is my co-author. He just wrote the manuscript. It was sent to Triumph Book Company about 3 days ago. It's about Thurman, myself, what we did on the field and off the field. Basically, off-season wise, families. We did some crazy stuff. It's not baseball. Like all baseball books, I hit 320, I hit 260, I ran around the bases, it hit 40 RBIs. It's not that. This is going to, people, I let my son read it. My son's a physician down in Miami, and I let my wife read it, and they loved it. They said it's one of the best books they have ever read. And a couple of people already came up to me about maybe doing a story, a movie about the book. It's like it's way before your time. It's what's the name of the movie? Golly, Pete, I just said it 100,000 times. It's with De Niro in it. Oh gosh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'll remember. I forget things.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you get older, you forget things. But the book just came out. It had not come out yet. It's going to be coming out in April, and people could pre-buy the book. And over, I think 1,500, 2,000 people already done that already. And it's going to be an unbelievable book. You go to Amazon, and I don't know how to do it. I'm not computer literate. Like I told you before, it's easier for me to hit Nolan Ryan than doing all this computer stuff. And I've been doing this Zoom, Zam, all that stuff, like 3-4 times a day. And it's not the easiest thing. It's very difficult for me. But if people want to go and look at that book, you go to Amazon, and you could pre-order the book. It's going to be an unbelievable book. It's going to be close to about 300 pages. I think it's going to be in the top 25. But you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, and it's a great book, and it's going to be fun. And hopefully people will go to it. Hopefully people will go to Designated Hebrew. Look at that. I'll sign it for whoever purchased the book. I just have, we sold hundreds of books in the last I've had it out for about 8 weeks, and we sold hundreds of books, and it's been fun. I'm meeting a lot of fans, and so it's been fun. Billy, this has been fun for me, and being able to talk to you, it's been fun. And now you're going to hit the jackpot and become a star, and you're going to say, well, I had this guy many, many years ago, and I'll call you up. I said, Billy, how you doing? Who are you? Like that. I hope you don't, and I hope you become very, very successful. I think you're going to be very, very good, and I hope you do real well, big guy.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming on. Such a wealth of knowledge and experience in the game of baseball, and it's been great talking to you.
Billy, it's great talking to you, big guy.
Batboy Productions is a brand new production company designed to create videos for local sports teams, businesses, and townships. Check out BillyTheBatboysCorner.com to learn more about Batboy Productions, LLC, or email Billy at BillyTheBatboysCorner.com for more details.
All right, we are back here on the Batboys Corner podcast, and we just heard some awesome stuff from Ron Blomberg. He's had a ton of experience in the world of baseball, great stories, and definitely go pre-order his new book, The Captain and Me, coming out in April. So with that, we're going to wrap it up here on the Batboys Corner podcast. Don't forget to follow him too on Instagram. It's Bloomberg12DH on Instagram and Facebook, Ron Blomberg. And we'd like to thank everyone for watching, and stay connected with us on social media on Instagram at Billy_the_Batboys_corner, on Facebook as Billy the Batboys Corner, and on Twitter and TikTok as Billy the Batboy. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a new episode. That'll do it for now, and we'll see you next time here on the Batboys Corner podcast.
Hi, this is John Sterling, and you're listening to the Batboys Corner podcast.